Okay, very good. Let's get started. Welcome, Team Gang Friends. Vin Lamanti here. Welcome to all the folks that are on live. Welcome to all the folks that are on Facebook, on the private group. Very exciting meeting we have here tonight. I'm real pumped about everything in life. Lately, I'm pumped about business. I'm pumped about life. I'm excited about where we're going with this company. We have a very special lineup tonight. So again, I want to congratulate all the folks that got on and are watching live. And isn't this better than TV though? It really kind of is. We have this saying, too, it's part of our cultures, change your show, change your life. So for the folks that are looking at this as guests, someone invited you, and for the folks that are involved in the business, you know what you have your hands on. What we want to do tonight, what we're looking to do tonight is really take a deep dive into what's going on with this company, right? Why Melaleuca? Why now? Why are so many people speaking about this and so many whys involved? But the first why really comes down to, I'll just share with you why I'm doing this, all right? I have 4 children. I have, beautiful wife, big house, we have the mortgage, the car payment, all these things that we have going on in life. We're very, very busy. So we didn't have a lot of options. I could get a second job. I can get, go back to school and get a degree. Or I could start a franchise, start a traditional business. A lot of people are looking to get involved in, home-based business. So we want to get involved in home-based. I want to really get involved in the e-commerce space. You see what's happening right now with Warren Buffett speaking about it, what's happening with Sears and Sam's Club. And so many things. Amazon has changed the way we live, right? So I really wanted to get involved in that space. I just didn't have the time to learn it all. I didn't have time to do anything else. And we really needed a residual income. I needed to get involved in a business that you can make big chunks of money along with residual income. So I've known about this company for about 10 years. About 10 years ago, I got shown this company. I heard of it. And about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, we actually became customers of the products of the company. And we love the products. It's products we use. I want to recession-proof my life as well, too. Products that we use every single day. Just as an example of what we do, I did wake up, I did brush my teeth, I did go in the shower, I used soap, I used shampoo, I came down, I had coffee, we did do the dishes, we do laundry, I did go to the gym. So all of these products really make it, we have necessity what we're doing here and what we're using. And I wanted to recession-proof my life. I wanted to build a financial fortress around my family. So I started looking more and more at this company. And tonight I'm going to take a deep dive into this company because about 3 years ago I noticed some top-level network marketing professionals were leaving traditional MLM companies and all flocking this way. At first I was like, why? Why is Melaleuca not represented at the GoPro events? And why are they not represented at these MLM mastermind events? And I always figured they were always off to their own island. And what's that all about? Kind of is it a cult? What's going on with that? But they methodically have been growing and growing and growing and growing over the years. Last year I spoke to a guy that has been in the company for 20 years, all right? Listen to these numbers. Now, tonight, if you're watching this, really put your business caps on and really pay attention because, look, time is a valuable asset. It's something that we spend, we never, ever get it back. My thing is, where am I going to spend my next 5, 10 years in business? Am I going to do one of these startups? We're going to get really deep into it. Why here? For a while, I was like, well, there's nothing really sexy about this company, but that was the whole point. And so, we're just super excited about it, and I decided to get started. Oh, real quick, I'm sorry. So I spoke to this guy. He's in the company 20 years. You hear that? I mean, who's in a home-based business for 20 years, made about $18 million. He got my attention. So I says, tell me everything about the company. I'll mute myself out. I want to hear everything. And this man proceeded to tell me all about this company. And this was last year, and I was floored. And I told my wife, I says, well, we're eventually going into Melaleuca. There's this even a video out there that says all roads lead to Melaleuca. So we really want to get into it tonight. We have some special guests. I don't want to take any more of your time. We're really going to take a deep dive into why this company is experiencing such growth. Why will it continue to experience such growth? We're speaking about a company that just did $2 billion, got that $2 billion in annual sales without spending without spending $1. Not $1 on advertisement. They've been in business for 32 years. I wanted to be involved with something that, listen, my friends and family can't get hurt. No one can get hurt at doing this. There's a tremendous amount of money in this business. I personally have never had so many people so early in my business that make such good money in anything, in any type of home-based business. And believe me, I've been in a bunch of them. So first, I want to bring on Dave Crescenzo. And Dave, I want to edify Dave properly because I wanted to be in business with this team. I wanted to be in business with Dave and Christian and Charlie, and I chose Tom to be my sponsor for a whole host of reasons. And we're going to have everyone on tonight. It's going to be amazing. But I want to edify Dave properly because don't take this lightly. And I really want you to open your hearts and your ears and your eyes to what Dave's going to share with you tonight. Dave is one of 8, not that one of 8, on the advisory board for a $2 billion in annual sales company. So one of 8. So I really hats off. Appreciate your time, taking your time, Dave. Former Marketing Executive of the Year, which is the #1 honor in this company, and 4-time President's Club winner for this company. And we're talking about being in good company with good people. He's currently a National Director 7. He's a multiple 7-figure income earner, and he has. Dave's going to tell a story. He has a lot of experience in this business, so in his industry and profession. I want to introduce Dave Crescenzo. Thank you for coming on, Dave.
All right. Thank you very much, Vin, and good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be with you, and a great turnout. What an exciting time to be building a Melaleuca business. I'm going to share with you some documentation and share my story, but what's interesting is our theme of our last convention was, and Vin mentioned it, all roads lead to Melaleuca. So they're coming from corporate America. They're coming from stay-at-home moms. They're coming from every profession, every walk of life, and they're especially coming from other home-based companies. Why? Well, there's really a perfect storm right now, and Ben touched on it, but a perfect storm. And the perfect storm is that the FTC, as many of you may know, is cracking down pretty hard on multi-level marketing companies. So Herbalife, one of the biggest and oldest, $200 million fine. Vima shut down in a day. Just a very stiff crackdown. And what's interesting is the DSA, Direct Selling Association, asked the FTC. They said, "Hey, our companies are worried. We don't know what's going on. What are you looking for?" They said it's very simple. Just look at the ruling in the Herbalife ruling, and that's what we're looking for. And if you do that, a lot of home-based companies are in violation. Meanwhile, our business model is crystal clean and noble. So the FTC is cracking down. People are looking for a home. They're running scared, and they're flocking to Melaleuca for a lot of reasons. So when we say all roads lead to Melaleuca, it's easy to say that, but the evidence is we did over $2 billion. We had a huge growth year, over $2 billion in sales this year, and I'm going to show you why that's very relevant. So all that sounds great. That all sounds neat, but really, what's it mean to you? What it really means to you, for the guests on the line, you can choose the next company and the next company and the next company and the next company, or you could team up with Ben and Tommy and Charlie and Christian and this amazing team of support that we have tonight and do the last company that you'll ever do. It really is that simple. And when you see all the reasons why, and when you strip out the emotion and the hype, and you make an educated, informed business decision, you'll absolutely love what you see. So there's some pretty big, bold statements. And basically, think about it this way. So many times when we look at a multi-level home-based business company, we rely on opinions. So somebody tells you that, the company is going to be the next great one and it's a legacy company, whatever, but they never show you the books. They never show you documentation. So think about this. Would you ever buy a conventional business, a coffee shop, a health club, without seeing the books? It's actually a really silly question. Like, the first thing you would do is you would say, show me the books, show me the numbers. But in multi-level marketing, we invest our time, our credibility, our relationships, our family's future in these companies without ever seeing the books. So what we're going to do tonight is show you documentation. We're going to show you the books. I'm going to start with my story because it's very relevant for the guests on the line. If you're a guest and you've never tried a multi-level marketing company, great. You'll see why you made the right decision to be here tonight. And if you've tried other home-based companies, you'll see a lot of reasons why the business model failed you. So I never knock the people in multi-level marketing companies. They're wonderful, great people like Vin and myself and a lot of people you're going to hear about tonight looking for a home. But I do show the flaws, and we have several people that are going to show the flaws in the business model. So my background is grew up poor, second youngest of 10, father's a minister, was looking to get ahead financially. So a long time ago, 1992, my brother Phil and I had a sign and t-shirt company in New Jersey. We had a 10,000 square foot building with employees, payroll, overhead, working really, really hard. And a friend showed up and he showed my brother Phil Melaleuca. And 6 months later, my brother Phil was making more money with Melaleuca than we were in our sign business. So we actually sold the business. So being the second youngest, kind of a hard head, I said, hey, if Big Brother can do it, I can do it. And Melaleuca must be multi-level marketing. And there's a ton of companies out there. And I know you have to get in first and get in front of the wave. So I'm going to go find my own multi-level marketing company. So I researched and found a company called New Concepts in Travel. That's me with hair and a mustache back in 1993. But the first travel network. So when you see all these multi-level travel companies, they're all a knockoff of New Concepts in Travel. I quickly went all in, became the top earner in the company, built a huge organization. I had Philadelphia Eagles and senators and doctors and lawyers and a who's who organization, over 30,000 people. But here's what they never show you. Here's a business report from that company, very typical of a multi-level. What are people doing every month? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, but they're spending 400, 800, 1600. Hey, Vin, you know what? You're a professional. You can get started with 7 positions for $2,800. So the multiples of 400, because that was the sign-up fee. So most of the money in a multi-level is made off of the initial purchase. Built a huge organization, but there was no residual. People just went inactive after that. 30,000 people. When my organization fell apart, my check was $2,500. Now, if I was wise enough at the time to ask for a business report, if any one of you on the line tonight saw this business report, would you join that company? Absolutely not. And that's why no one shows it. So I went to another company. Amazing success stories. Dave Crescenzo said to my wife, honey, I'm all in. I'm going to work hard for a year and we'll be set. Made over $10,000 my first month in the business. Year later, huge organization, late checks, wrong checks, can't ship the product, can't answer the phone. Organization fell apart, fell to nothing, back to square one. I stood on stage, said I don't do lotions and potions. I do technology. I do travel. I do financial services. I do telecom. Then I looked at all the top earners and saw that all the top earners were in nutritional companies, and I tried nutritional companies. I tried a company that actually allowed us to earn over 1 million shares of stock, and when it became free trading, it was worthless. So 7 years, 10 companies, every single time, put my heart and soul into it. Every single time the business model failed me. 1999, I was feeling sorry for myself. I was feeling unlucky. I was telling my wife, if only I would have picked the right company. But here's the sad truth. This is anybody on tonight with multi-level marketing experience, I think you're going to find this very shocking. Here's how you can make $10,000 tomorrow morning. Find a multi-level that started in the last 30 years. So that excludes Amway, Avon, and Mary Kay. Other than those 3, find a company that started in the last 30 years that reached 300 million in sales domestically in the U.S. and then continued to grow the following 3 years in the U.S. And Melaleuca will write you a check for $10,000. This challenge was issued over 8 years ago. Not a single one has been paid out. Why? Because it never makes sense to be just a customer. People go in for the business. So then it waves through a city. Everybody's talking about shop to earn or so many of the companies that came and went. And then it waves through another city. Then it goes to another state. And then they go international to keep growing. So you'll see new multi-level marketing companies in 10, 15, 20, 30 countries, and they're not even growing in the US. So that's burning the fields. It's country hopping, not a single company. That's incredible. The reason why that's important is because we are a microcosm of the company we represent. If the company cannot grow domestically each year, then we can't. And that's why you'll see people that are starting over. You'll see people 60, 70 years old calling you about the next company, and they're on their 20th or 30th company. And it's sad, and it's unfortunate. So meanwhile, so not a single company could get to 300 million and continue to grow. Here's Melaleuca's sales chart. Look at the last couple of years. The company is just exploding. So we went from $1 billion to 1.2 to 1.7 to 2 billion. Why are we growing so quickly? Shop from home, growing or getting smaller? Work from home, growing or getting smaller. Natural, non-toxic, safe, environmentally safe products, growing or getting smaller. Residual income, growing or getting smaller. We have what everyone is looking for, and Melaleuca delivers it. So over 2 billion in sales when not a single company could get to, right here, 300 million, and continue to grow. So back to my story, I was very disillusioned. My wife and I took a second mortgage on our home. I said, I will never do multi-level again as long as I live. We took a second mortgage on our home. We opened up a salon and day spa. We've been blessed. Today we have about 38 employees and a good solid business. 10 years after my brother started, here's my Melaleuca story. Finally, talk about coming full circle. So again, for the guests, if you're seeing Melaleuca for the first time and you never tried a home-based company, think of all the heartache that you saved yourself. And for the experienced networker on the line tonight, all that you did was the experience, like for myself, that puts you in position to now go build a huge business. Here's my story. For the past 8 years, I tried multi-level marketing. Each time I worked hard and the companies failed me, I wrote off the industry and my wife and opened up a salon and spa. Business is doing well. In September of 2001, I said I have 15 hours a week on my hands down the bottom. When Dave and Lynn got started, our goal was to make an extra $1,500 a month. I just wanted a new Mercedes. Now, why would I set such a modest goal? Because I had no belief because of my multi-level marketing experience. Same guy, same friends, same community, same neighborhood, still live in Vineland, New Jersey, same everything, but now I had the right business model. My 1099 for my first year with Melaleuca is over $157,000. Am I telling the guests you're going to make over $157,000 your first year? I'm not. I'm showing you the potential. That's what happened for me. With today's compensation, you can earn significantly more than that. I think our next speaker is Charlie Costello. He earned significantly more than that in his first full year. But the point is, you can be anywhere you want to be as long as your commitment matches your expectations. So it's not hype and opinion. We have over 30 years of documentation, historical evidence. I love that. Historical evidence that says, if you do this, then you get this. So the next few years, my wife and I enjoyed the residual income. It was incredible. 16th of the month, never a day late, never a dollar short, check on my doorstep. Month after month, year after year. 2009, the economy got really rough. If you remember, companies were downsizing and laying off, and it was really rough. And Melaleuca is a recession-proof business because think about it. In a bad economy, people need to save money on their products, and they need to earn money. So I said, you know what? It's time for us to get serious. For the first time, we went to all in. First time we went all in, Melaleuca made over $300,000. 2010, over $340,000. Vin mentioned Marketing Executive of the Year. We only tell you that to tell you that I'm the same guy that struggled in multi-level and that we have tremendous support and systems to help you build your business. Our team became collectively the fastest growing. So my wife and I, my brother Phil, my nephew Christian, you're going to hear from him later on, won President's Club this year. So we have one of the, quite a respected team. And my wife and I have now earned over that's a little bit old. It's about $3.35 million. Now, the moral of that story is, number one, obviously the multi-level business model is flawed. Secondly, if you do the activity, you get the result. But the real moral of the story is the biggest mistake that you can make is to mistake this for one of those companies. Literally, if you have no experience, you're in the right place starting with the right company, and you are very fortunate. That's awesome, and congratulations. And if you have experience, one of my father's favorite scriptures, in all labor there is profit. So now you can benefit, you can profit from your experience by applying it to the right vehicle. Last point I want to make. We talked about perfect timing and big picture. This is really, 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 really important. So Melaleuca just cracked $2 billion in sales, right? Now, in multi-level, I used to get on stage and say, timing, you got to get in first. You got to get in front of the wave. That's the silliest. I will tell you that I'm 57 years old. The silliest thought that I ever had, the silliest business thought that I ever had in my life was, you got to get in first. It's actually the opposite. What I learned the hard way is pioneers get shot with arrows. And if you want to make a lot of money, get in a proven company that did $2 billion this year in sales. Now, why is that important? Here's why. The company did over $2 billion in sales. They pay out each month 51% of the product points. So let's round it off. Let's say they pay out 900 million. So they're going to pay out, yes. So 2 billion, let's just round it out to 1 billion that they're going to pay out to the field. But here's the kicker. 79% of the people in Melaleuca are customers. They could care less that there's a business attached. 10% refer their mom and their brother. We call those product advocates. 11% actively build a business. What's that mean to you? It means that you earn bonuses on the sales of the entire company based on the production of your team. So typically in business, you have to choose. Do I want to make money quickly, or do I want to make it for the long haul? Melaleuca, you have the best of both worlds. You earn significant, amazing bonuses on the way up. You'll hear from Vin, and you'll hear from a couple guys who will tell you exactly what they earn. So you earn significant bonuses getting started. And then on the back end, the average reorder rate in a home-based company is 10 to 20%. Ours is 96% reorder rate. 96% of the customers that shop this month will shop again next month. So just to summarize, company did do $2 billion. They're going to pay out 51% of product points to 11% of the people in the field that are building. So if any company paid the bonuses that Melaleuca pays out, they'd be out of business in 6 months. I jokingly tell my team, find a company where you can earn the bonuses getting started that you do in Melaleuca, and I'll go do it with you because it doesn't exist. And then on the back end, 96% reorder rate. So when you combine all of that to a strong team and a great support, the outcome is already determined. As all you have to do is make the decision, and the outcome is already determined because we have all these years of proof and evidence. So that's what I wanted to share, Ben, and I'm going to pass it back to you. But
that's tremendous information, David. I love the way you show it. It's one of the primary reasons. I looked at this multiple times. I've been in, I have somewhat of a similar story to you as well, and so many different things. And one of the things that you point out is the difference between this and so many multi-levels that are out there, and you do it like a true pro. So I appreciate all you do. You have a big team, very busy schedule, very busy life, and you make time for a lot of us, and you really bring the goods. So I really appreciate that in a big way, Dave. So
thank you, man. Honor to work with you, my friend.
Likewise, brother. You always deliver. I appreciate it. All right, great. If I can take the screen back, that'll be awesome.
I can't see where to stop share, but I'm not getting my message bar. Let's see. You know what? I can maybe.
There you go. Wait, there you go. Boom. All right, Ron. Thank you, Dave. So great stuff. I mean, this is a special webinar tonight. We have some other special guests coming on. And again, Dave Crescenzo throws down like the best, because he has that experience behind him. Wow, that doesn't look like Tom. That kind of looks like Christian Crescenzo has Tom's name underneath. So I want to, and listen, just so we know, we have a lot of fun in this business, do we not? I mean, Dave's a lot of fun. You guys have a great event you put on every month up in New Jersey. I had the privilege of being up there at one of them. And Christian Crescenzo's a man that's tremendous wisdom beyond his years. Christian, again, yet another one of the reasons that I got started. Again, he's another multiple seven-figure income earner. Cumulatively with the company. We have a very good time. He's always there doing one-on-ones. He just bringing on some new people. I got your text onto the team as well. So I just want to bring on Christian Crescenzo. Christian, maybe, whatever you feel the folks need right now, where the company's been, where it's going, whatever is on your heart to share with everyone, just bring it, brother.
I appreciate it, Vin. Thanks for having me on. I just had a great time talking to, a gentleman that had an extensive real estate background. And what's interesting is he was describing the way that he would find, wholesale deals, and then they would mark them up a little, and then it would go to a guy in the middle, and then that guy in the middle would then retail it, fix it up and retail it. And there's multiple chains involved in that process. And every time it goes into another hand, the price does not go down. It goes up. So what I loved when I saw this a while ago, when I saw this in 2008, there's 54 people on the line, and I don't want to assume that everybody knows what got me here, but I had 10 years in the mortgage business industry. I started in the telemarketing room, worked my way up to being a loan rep, then I worked my way up to being a manager, then eventually owned my own company, and I found myself, at a place where I was working twice as hard for half as much because of laws and regulation. And my wife told me we had this little guy on the way. And I said, man, I got to figure something out that's going to work. And I kind of said I wanted to build Noah's Ark, where the rains were falling and everything was going crazy. And I chose Melaleuca because I felt like it was an idea that's time had come and it was before its time. So I like the fact that we were dealing direct to the consumer, offering wellness products through a shopping club. So there's a lot of folks that maybe don't understand the concept, but there is no one between the company and the customer here. And I think that's what makes us fly, is that 80% of the entire company is just customers. And then there's a small percentage that actually markets and grows the business. And what I love, and you're going to hear from two gentlemen in a little bit that have extensive knowledge in business. In fact, they have opposite lives. When I say that, I mean, you're going to hear from Tom Braddock, who's a principal who has a master's degree and went through the formal education. And then you're going to hear from Charlie Costello, who's been in the construction industry. And what's interesting is we always say all roads lead to Melaleuca, because Charlie's been in the real estate business, construction industry. He's been a broker. He's developed homes. He actually built the first robotic home in New Jersey. And what's attracting everyone here is a make sense concept where you can deal direct with the factory, and you're not dealing through a broker or a store. You're going direct to the factory, straight to the customer, and what you're getting out of that is you're made whole by an exceptional product. So what I love about that is that 2/3 of a product typically goes to waste in the industry. I don't want to say it goes to waste but it does go to a place that adds no value to you, the customer. The fact that a product was distributed 4 or 5 times doesn't mean it works any better when you get it to your house. It does mean it costs more, but it doesn't mean it works better. So I think it's really important to understand. So when you see that we've created a better way, this is something that I think, I was watching, Shark Tank, and I watch what these guys talk about and their margins, how slim they are after they do all their advertising and overhead, and they run into the capital problems. And what I love about Melaleuca is we're a debt-free operation. We've been running for 32 years, since 1985. We're offering exceptional products delivered straight to the customer, and we manufacture in the U.S. We export to 18 countries. We don't import in. So what's amazing is the idea that you can create something that good that you can actually send out. So that's a wonderful thing. I was actually just talking to someone the other day who works for the company, who was just recruited, and he was one of the top executives for Ford. He was one of their top guys, and he had worked on the manufacturing lines, and he'd worked, behind the scenes, and he was there when, and he talked about when Ford made a recent turnaround and how they said that their goal was to make a product that everyone would buy, and most importantly, the employees would choose Ford before anything else. And I think about Melaleuca because I've been to the headquarters and I've been to the home office, and their goal is to create a product so exceptional that you tell people about it. And when you do, earn profit and partner with the company. So we do offer exceptional alternatives to what's in the store that are higher quality. And we do offer the things that you're used to buying. So we basically say, take your old money and bring it to a new store. And when you do that, you're going to find exceptional value and quality. So I love that when you can know that you're getting a deal. So how do we know we're getting a deal? So I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they said, I talked to a lot of people, and they said that, well, is this like one of those deals? I said, what do you mean like one of those deals? And they said, well, I said, oh, you mean like New Skin, Herbalife, Shaklee, Jeunesse, Young Living, anything like that? And they said, well, yeah. I said, okay, well, I'll tell you this, and you may agree with me or not agree, but I would agree. I would ask you this question: if you don't have customers, then you don't have a business. Do you agree with that statement? If you don't have customers, you don't have a business. And they said, well, sure. I said, okay, so let's just talk about that for a second. So not to beat on a company, but I'm going to use a general example in the open market because it's pretty easy to find and it's very accessible online. So there's a company, it's called Jeunesse. Maybe you could do well if you found it. They offer, one of their top sellers is a product called Reserve. You can buy it now if you want for $137.95. Is that a good price or a bad price? I don't know. To me, it seems a little high for 30 packets. I mean, if you were spend a little over $4 a piece. I mean, that's a little expensive to me. But if it does great things, maybe it's worth it, right? So then I said, well, let's just see, you know, what the consumer acceptance pricing is on that. And I went on Amazon and I looked up Reserve, and I saw that that same Reserve product sells for $71.45. Or you could buy a 2-pack for $135. So I said, so the question is, am I offering you a product that's marked up twice of what it should be and calling it a business? And the answer to that is no. Because what we're offering is exceptional products that are priced well below the market standard. So when I say that, I say, look, here's the deal. We don't retail, but here's one of our products that we sell for $15. And if you go here on Amazon, you're going to see that it's not on here for $7, and it's not on here for half the price. It's on here for $52. So when you see that, I said, you know, think about that for a second. So what are you offering a customer? You know, if you're offering somebody a business opportunity and you say you have the best comp plan in the world, but your products are twice market pricing, it doesn't matter how good your compensation plan is because you're not going to have a repeat customer. So the idea is if you can have a repeat customer on an acceptable price point, and you can offer someone an exceptional product and you can verify it, then they're going to want to be your customer. And if they feel comfortable being your customer, then they're going to feel comfortable obviously using the product themselves, similar to the Ford concept. It's going to be their first choice. So our goal is to give you enough information. And I'm like the second guy with the baton in a 4-man relay race. So I'm not going to take a lot of time because I want to allow enough time for the next 2 speakers and still end on time. So the idea is for you guys to get enough information to know that this could be the right decision for you. And one of the biggest things is clinical research, rock solid information, not just hype, So one really important thing is I have been pitched, and I come from the real estate world. So people used to say to me, like, they used to come up with these hypotheticals, well, hypothetically, this is what it's going to be, and that's what it's going to be. And I owned a commercial property at one point, and they said, this is how much road traffic you're going to get in turn. This is how much business you're going to get. And I said, well, I'd have to be suspicious on the fact that those demographics and that road traffic probably doesn't equate to sales, because if that were the case, everybody would be rich on that street. And I don't think that that's reality. So I said, I would like to see historical. So what I love about Melaleuca is it's all historical. It's not hypothetical. So when I saw historical evidence, and you saw U.S. patents that take years and years to develop, and we have 2 of them on our nutritional products, and you see that our cold water omega-3s are $3 to $4 cheaper than the average, and they're better than what you can find anywhere, mercury distilled, top quality. Our creatine is 17 cents a serving, and it's a better product than you can get in a GNC or a Vitamin Shop. Everything is an acceptable price point, but with an exceptional quality. So when I say acceptable price point, we're not trying to be the cheapest. We're not trying to beat the dollar store. Our goal is to offer a product that you can't find anywhere else that's so good that you will want to buy it again and again and again, and more importantly, refer other people. When anyone needs the product, you can refer them. So we've created a real business out of this. And I say we've created a real business, I mean we've created a real business. And I always had these, when I was a kid, I always wanted to own a gym. And I used to say, I used to sit there with a calculator when I was working out and say, because I was always an entrepreneur, I would say, oh, here we go, $50 a month. And if you have, 10,000 members, you're going to make $500,000 a month, But the reality of it is that's not how business works. What I really wanted was a business that had a recurring customer. And when I realized that this was it, I put my time in. And what I love is that Melaleuca takes the time to create products that are on time with what the market's demanding. And the market, a couple of years ago was demanding gluten-free, soy-free, no artificial sweeteners, GMO-free, vegan. We came out with it. We've created it. We've put it together. Everything is back to the money back guarantee. People are looking for coffee. We came out with small batch organic. And here's what I mean, why this is important. Because if you put your time in this and build a customer base, and then the company comes out with like the Select line, or comes out with coffee, comes out with tea, what happens is you get a raise and you didn't do anything. And I'm not saying you're going to make money without doing anything. What I'm saying is, because the company's working so hard to meet market demands, they roll out a product and then you get a raise. So what I would say is, if you're on the line right now, the time to build a customer base is now. While people are switching from stores to online stores, You want to be the guy that creates your customer base. And I'm not saying that you won't have that opportunity 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What I'm saying to you is have your business in place that starts paying you recurring revenue, that's based around necessities, not luxuries. So obviously we have exceptional products. I showed you that our lotion sells for $15 on our site, sells for $45. We have a beauty product line that's exceptional. That my wife's a skincare specialist, absolutely loves it. Essential oils, best you can buy on the market, harvested sustainably, everything that you'd want to find. If you were to make a short list of what you wanted, we got it covered, and the prices are fair. Our cleaners, I would say these are our unsung hero. People love them. Tom's is going to come on. He's following me. He's got the baton next. He's going to talk a little bit about some experiences he had when he converted his home over to clean products, and right away started seeing advantages in his family's overall health. And most importantly, you can weave this into your budget, and it's not going to cost you more. So, that's the best thing I can say. I mean, if you're shopping at a dollar store, maybe it will cost you a little bit more, but it'll be worth it. But if you're shopping at the grocery store, you could seamlessly transition to Melaleuca product and 100% be satisfied, and it will not put a strain on your budget, and you will love the quality you get. So I'm excited. I mean, I'll just tell you this. I'll show you one last thing, and then I'm going to pass it back to Vin. But this is something that I'm really excited about. Is recently we got a direct deposit, and in fact, it just to show you what residual and recurring revenue could do is over the last 9 years, this company paid us $2 million, $2,041,029 in consistent checks over time. And I'm saying that because of an exceptional product line, there is an exceptional business. So Tom's going to talk to you a little bit about his experiences, and then we're going to wrap it up with Charlie Costello. But at this point, I'm going to pass it back to Vin. And Vin, take it away, bud. Pass it back to you, and thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for doing what you do. You're always available. And I don't know if everyone knows how funny Christian Crescenzo actually is, man. We have a really, really good time. So doing this business is a lot of fun, and thank you for what you do. It's funny, too, because I've always wanted to get into e-commerce. I wanted to get involved in e-commerce, right, for the last few years. And then I'm looking at, how do I get involved? And do I start a Shopify store or an Amazon shop? Or do I run Facebook ads? And I actually bought training on it. I'm like, I'm confused. What do I do? And then I'm like, oh, wait, I can sign up for $19 and just voila. I have 400 and something products. I have over 30 patents. I think we have a tendency to take that lightly. I watch Shark Tank, and people come on and say, well, do you have a patent? Well, we have a patent pending, or we have a patent. I don't want to have to make a patent. I don't want to have to I don't have time for that. I do have time, however, to blend this into my busy life. We literally do this. We have people building this business that are in the car, at the soccer field. That's just how we do it. But we treat this like a major business. Because look, if I'm going to have a store, like Christian said, we want customers. We want recurring customers. And we want people that, I want a variety of products and services. I don't want to be bound by geography or weather, or be tied down with, a lease, overhead, employees, inventory, all of these things, backed by a 32-year-old company that's just so on their game. I mean, I say sometimes this company was actually created literally in the industrial age, and we now live in the digital and social age. So, digital and social age, I want to get involved with this company. I've been looking at it for years. I chose Tommy Braddock to get involved with. I chose Tom, and Tom didn't even call me. I called Tom, and I says, because I know Tom knows how to market in a way that's relevant, relevant to the digital age. Not like it's 2012 or 2014 or 2009 or the 90s. He knows how to do it in a relevant way. And so he's a man of integrity, a guy that I wanted to hitch my wagon to. We collaborate quite a bit. He's a man of integrity. Whoever knows Tom knows he's solid. He's a guy of integrity, and he knows this business. He took it seriously. He takes it very seriously. He makes himself available. He is, in fact, an elementary school principal. I've often in elementary school seen the inside of the principal's office. But other than that, I want to welcome you into Tom's office right now. Tom Braddock, Senior Director something for, I believe, and on your way he's a corporate director waiting for his volume to catch up. So Tommy, boy, would you just come on and give the folks what they need?
Absolutely, brother. So thank you so much for putting this together, Vin. This has been nothing short of fantastic. Love hearing from Dave every single time he jumps on a webinar, and then Christian, my personal enroller. Can't say enough about Christian. You're going to hear from Charlie Costello in a moment, but thanks for putting this together. Ladies and gentlemen, I just can't say enough about this company. I almost feel like my life experiences over the last several years sort of prepared me to really take this business and run. I've been an educator for the last 17 years. And then over the course of the last 17 years, I've lost 3 kids to cancer. I've had some colleagues pass from cancer, a lot of health challenges within my family. And at the same time, my wife and I made a decision that I would bring home the income and she would stay home with our kids and just be that active mom. She's been the room mother in our kids' classes for years. And we just made a commitment that she would stay home until we got them all off to college. And then she and I would enjoy ourselves once they were on their way. But the problem is sometimes there was too much month at the end of the money, and we definitely needed an alternative. And so about 6 years ago, I had looked at another home-based business. We decided to take that for a run. And unfortunately, like Dave shared earlier, that business failed me. And I was very skittish about doing anything else. But as fate would have it, Melaleuca actually came across my path 3 times last year. And I didn't take a serious look at it the first 2 times because I thought I knew what I was going to be looking at. But my best friend, buddy of mine who's also a principal, he knew Christian. And he had great rapport with Christian, really trusted Christian. And he knew Christian was making some serious money. I mean, you just saw Christian has made over $2 million over the last 9 years with this company. And so I sat down with him. I sat down with Christian. I also sat down with Charlie. And it was the first time, folks, I've had many people approach me with different opportunities. And I turned almost all of them down except that previous one that I decided to run with. And never once did anyone ever show me a paycheck. And Christian and Charlie showed me what their pay was for the previous 12 months. And it was consistent. It was consistent money every single month. And I said, dang, man, you guys seriously look like you've cracked the code. I need you to show me exactly what you did, because here's what I know. If you want what someone else has, you need to do what they did to get what they have. And so I told them straight up, I said, Charlie and Christian, I need you guys to show me exactly what you did to get to where you are today with this company, because I want to duplicate that. So they invited me over to Christian's house one day, and we went down into that basement, and Christian sort of has like a war room down there with a whiteboard, and they showed me what to do. And I'm going to show you in a second, but that resulted in the last 8 going on 9 months now, that resulted in them helping me just by duplicating what they did. My wife and I adding an extra, if my computer will cooperate, an extra $73,000 to our household, like I said, in the last 8 to 9 months. And so that's been significant. I can't tell you what a difference that's made for my household. We've basically doubled my take-home pay. I make a good living as an elementary principal, make 6 figures gross, but I'm not bringing home 6 figures. But now, thanks to Melaleuca and this part-time venture that I've been a part of for, I started in April. They paid us for the first time in May. We're looking at hitting 6 figures in 1099 income, folks. It's significant before my first year is even up. And so that's significant. So our last pay in December was over $8,000, $8,000 and some change. What would that do for you and your household, right? Significant. I think that the average American household, if they just had an extra $1,000 per month, it would dramatically improve their lifestyle. I remember hearing not too long ago that when the housing crisis happened, if the houses that foreclosed on their homes, if they just had an extra $1,000 a month, 76% of those homes wouldn't have foreclosed. So that's significant. So what I'm about to share with you real quick, I want you to pay really close attention to. Because what Christian and Charlie told me, they said, Tommy, if you want to duplicate what we've done, you want to go senior director as quickly as possible, right? Number 1, you need to order a home conversion pack because you want to build your belief. You want to be a product of the product. You want to lead by example. People are going to do what you do or less. They're rarely going to do more. And so that's what I did. We got a home conversion pack. My wife fell in love with the products. My kids fell in love with the products. And it was it. My wife gave me the green light to run. We signed up April 3rd. Our products came April 6th. Our home conversion pack came April 6th. 4 days later, my wife gave me the green light to run with this company, right? And so that was step one. Order a home conversion pack, lead by example. That's what we did. The next step was go out and get 20 personal customers. Enroll 20 personal customers as quickly as you can. And I didn't get that at first until we sat down in Christian's room in the basement, and Charlie really broke it down for me. So I'm going to break it down for you right here. So you'll see here, this company incentivizes you in a really great way with upfront bonuses, but what really excites me is the long-term residual income. But it was the only company that I've ever taken a look at where people can make a lot of money fast up front, but it had the long-term build a business for a lifetime income on the back end too. Amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And like Uncle Dave said, it's not available anywhere else. This is why all roads are leading to Melaleuca. So let me just show you real quick. We have the director ranks. So we went from 0 customers to 20 customers in about, I'd say, 2.5 months. So I went out and got 14 customers immediately. And then I got so busy helping those people that we ended up getting our 20. And so, but 20 resulted in, now we have, over 30, but 30 has resulted in well over 600 people deciding to start shopping with Melaleuca and making it their store of preference. And so what's interesting is, if you can go out and get 10, you can definitely go out and get 20. So our first 20 days, we shared this with 16 people. 14 personal customers decided to come on board with Melaleuca. We ended up hitting Director 3. So what ended up happening is our volume was over 2,500. We helped one person. My friend, Michelisa, she went out and got 12 customers in 5 days. And my buddy Lou actually went out and got 8 customers in about 2 weeks. And what ends up happening, if you watch this video that corporate puts out, it tells them that you're serious about building a business and you want to hit senior director within your first 12 months. Instead of getting single bonuses, they'll actually double your bonuses. And it's a 25-minute video that they're asking you to watch. So if you're serious and you want to move fast, watch that video. They'll double your bonuses. And that's what we did. In our 5th month, we hit senior director, actually senior director 2. And what was interesting is our Pacesetter bonuses up to that point resulted in $13,800 personally just for advancing through those ranks. Now, you have to help other people along the way. The key is to get to senior director, you have to have 20 minimum customers personally, and you need to help at least 5 people get to senior director, to get to director or above. Now, watch what happens. This is why this compensation plan is so lucrative. And Dave alluded to it earlier, but they actually incentivize you in a very great way to help other people achieve their goals as well. So Director 3 is key. What Charlie laid out for me, he said, Tommy, if you help 5 people get 20 personal customers, historically what we found with the company is that out of those 20, at least 2 people will go out and get 10. So if someone did that, if someone went out and got 20 and 2 other people went out and got 10, they would hit Director 3 status. 10 customers typically results in someone going Director 2, right? And so here's how it would all break down. You would earn, if you went out and helped 5 people become Director 3s, and they each had at least 2 people go Director 2, you're looking at $13,800 in personal rank advancement bonuses to senior director. What you're also looking at is $8,000 in 100% matching bonus on these 5 people you personally enrolled and helped get to Director 3. In addition, you would get $3,000 in 50% matching bonuses on the 10 individuals that your personals enrolled and help get to Director 2. Now, what we found is on that run to senior director, on average, it's an approximate amount, it's not perfect, your commissions on the road to senior director are going to be anywhere in between about $14,000 to $16,000. That's why I put 15 there. And you can guesstimate that you're going to earn about $40,000 on your way to senior director. Now, guess what? When we hit senior director, my cumulative earnings were just shy of this because our volume was a little less, but it was $38,900 and change. So we just came shy of this average, but it was right on point. Charlie and Christian, exactly what they told me, came true in real to life. And so, folks, that's why I'm adamant with people. If you want to be successful with this company, you got to duplicate what those who have come before you have done. You know, people like Uncle Dave, who's made over $3 million, right? Christian's made $2 million. Charlie, who you're going to hear from shortly, has made $500,000 with this company in a really short period of time. You want to listen to those folks. They know what they are doing and don't recreate the wheel. So that's really what I have to attribute my success to, is really listening to what Charlie and Dave and Christian recommended I do, and then just continue helping other people to duplicate exactly what we did. So that's my portion of tonight. Vin, I don't know if you have any other questions or you want to pass it over to Charlie, but hopefully people got some good knowledge from what I shared.
I love what you shared, Tom. You just proved you're coachable, which in fact means you're able to be coached.
Correct.
To be coached. Tom, 25 seconds. Give us an invite. How are you getting people to look at this?
A couple different ways. What I found, guys, is I went to a training not too long ago. If you're familiar with Eric Worre, he's one of the predominant trainers in the industry. And he just brought something to my attention, and he brought it to everybody's attention that was in the room. He said, listen, in today's day and age, we're all really busy, right? And so if you were to get a call when you were busy, would you pick it up? And everybody was like, it depends, right? But they said, if you received a text when you're busy, are you inclined to respond? And everybody was like, yeah, I'll respond to a text. And he said, exactly. We're living in a day and age where texting has become the norm, and it's become the primary way that people are really communicating. Not saying that it's a good thing, but that's just, you got to meet people where they are. And so he recommended we do this. He said, when you're inviting people to take a look, he recommended that we text first and then call second. So here's a simple texting script that you can send to anybody who's in your circle of influence, right? And who knows you, loves you, trusts you, respect you, and likewise, you the same with them. If I was sending it to Vin, I would say, hey, Vin, I need to talk to you. It's important. Do you have a couple of quick minutes? I'll repeat that. Hey, Dave, I need to talk to you. It's important. Do you have a couple of quick minutes? Hey, Charlie, I need to talk to you. It's important. Do you have a couple of quick minutes? That's all I'm texting. Notice, I didn't say anything about a business. I didn't say anything about Melaleuca. I didn't say anything about products. All I said was, number one, I need to talk to you. Number two, it's important. Number three, do you have a couple of quick minutes? So what I'm doing there is I'm actually indirectly edifying the person, saying, hey, I think highly of your opinion on things because I need to talk to you about something important. Number two, I'm telling them I'm not going to have you on the phone for hours. I need just a couple of quick minutes, right? And so what you're going to find is if you send that message out to 4 people at noon every day for the next 2 weeks, your business is going to explode. And here's what you're going to do. That's your first message, right? And then when they respond, you need to have some way to get them to book an appointment with you. So your response is this. When they're texting you, hey, what's up? Is everything okay? Or when they're calling you right back and your phone's blowing off the hook, you're going to say, listen, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but I'm working on a new project. I wanted to share it with you because, and then you want to pay them a compliment, right? I wanted to share this with you because I'm so excited and I've always respected your opinion on things. Love to get your feedback on it, right? Or I'm working on a new project and I want to share it with you because I just really have always respected your commitment to health and wellness. Whatever it is, you want to pay them a compliment. And then once you've paid them the compliment, here's the key. The person who asks the questions controls the conversation. And so you want to close with, what does your schedule look like this week? Not when do you have time, or do you have time? What does your schedule look like this week? So you're already posturing like they're going to give you time, right? And then they're going to think, when do I have time to connect with Tom, or when do I have time to connect with Vin? You know, and so they'll tell you when they have a opening in their schedule, and then you try to cater it to their time. If for some reason you want to get them on a webinar that's happening that night, you just want to change it up a little bit. You want to say, listen, I'm working on a new project. It made me think of you, or I'd love to share it with you because, and then you say, what are you doing tonight, or what are you doing tomorrow at 8 o'clock that you can cancel or reschedule? Do you hear the urgency in that question, right? What are you doing at 8 o'clock tomorrow night that you can cancel or reschedule? And they're going to tell you, right? They're going to tell you if they're busy. They're going to tell you if they have an opening. And then just say, when they say they have an opening, say, great, listen, jump on this webinar with me. When it's over, we'll jump off together, and I got to get your feedback on it. And that's it. And what you need to do is become a professional appointment setter. Let us sell the membership for you. But you book the appointments, we'll sell the memberships, and then the customers will go and shop for what they want. And it's really that simple of a business, folks. And you're in business in one of the best e-commerce companies in the world, right? $2 billion in the last year. That's significant stuff, and we're just going to continue to grow at rocket speed.
Amen, Tom. Thank you. Great content. Appreciate all you do. Thank you.
You got it, brother.
Great. And I want to put it out there to the folks so you understand too is, Tom's a pro. Give yourself time to grow. You know, it's when you hear it on a webinar sometimes and you go out and do it, it's not the same, right? And I know it all too well. I screw up all the time. But when I go out and screw up, I go back and I'll like read a book and say, oh, yeah, I got to make the course corrections as I go. And, oh, yeah, why am I doing this? I'm looking for the residual income. So I make sure I take 10, 20 minutes a day. Make sure I read a little bit. Make sure I listen to the right audio. Make sure I watch some of these webcasts, and make sure I'm connected. I see the thing is, one of the main reasons we're having this is to kind of introduce everyone to the team, so you get to know the team, so you can tell your friends, hey, friends, meet my new friends. You know, I like to speak trigger terms, too. Get used to the trigger terms. I speak e-commerce. I wanted to get involved in e-commerce. I wanted to do something part-time. I'm so busy. Take away the too busy factor, right? People are all too busy. I am too busy. Honestly, I can't do it. I don't have the time to do anything. So, get good at this business and know where you're going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 2 years from now, 4 and 5 years from now, because this company will, in fact, continue to grow. It's a principle-based company, and it's doing all the right things. I'm blown away by the company. So we have Charlie coming on now, and get ready because this is going to be really, really exciting. Charlie's one of my favorites. Whether they're all great. Sometimes we say save the best for last, and it's all good. Everyone here is the best, and so I have the absolute privilege and pleasure of getting to know Charlie. Charlie's nuts like me. He's got 4 sons like I have 4 sons. I don't know if you guys heard the big bang while this was going just before I muted myself again. But Charlie's, again, he's a real stud in this business. He knows he's an absolute professional. Make sure that you're listening right now, particularly if you're a business owner, just a business owner, and you'll get it. Or a network marketer. Have you been in network marketing before? Why are people flocking to this company? Charlie's an executive director and beyond. He's another corporate director waiting for his volume to catch up. And so, Charlie, just like bring whatever you got to bring. I mean, why are network marketers flocking here? Why are people making so much money here? Why is this company continuously growing? Why they just do $2 billion in annual sales? I mean, just bring what you got to bring, brother. I want everyone to pay attention to what Charlie's got to say.
Sure. Thanks, Vin. You're the man. So, as part of the concept of tonight was to discuss the things that we typically discuss when we're on with business people or kind of high-profile players, if you will. It's interesting that I'm here talking about how to recruit somebody that's high-profile and a player, because that's certainly something I was not for a long time. So just a reminder to everybody out there is it's up to you to build yourself into that high-profile player. But typically what I'll do if I'm on with somebody, Vin, is I'm actually looking and reading the individual. I'm studying the person, I'm getting a feel, I'm getting a vibe, and I'm always just trusting my gut on what information it is that you need to share with that person. But there's always tremendous truths that we have at Melaleuca that when you share them, people just tend to listen to them and relate to them. So why is Melaleuca doing what it's doing? Why is it exploding? Why is it where it's at? The short answer is it's built on solid principles. And one of the big questions people ask is how and why is this different than, you know, this company or that company or this multi-level marketing company or this network marketing company, or what's so different about it? Or people, you know, don't typically understand. And, you know, nobody ever educated me on it either. I kind of found out the hard way. So when I actually started doing network marketing, if you will, back in, 2008, 2009, I had to learn the hard way, building an organization and doing really well. Build an organization out to $230,000 in my first year networking, only to watch it fall to absolutely nothing the following year. I mean, we were talking months over $50,000, and then the following year, months less than $1,000, and watching it fall apart and not having any clue what that is, and having to go and pay and try to find mentors that could teach me about real business. You know, I'm just a guy that's, you know, scratched the surface in the business world and started to learn things the hard way. So one of the smartest things you can do is find some people that know, like Vin was saying, and listen to what they have to say. But we've kind of become specialists in the space of network marketing. What differentiates Melaleuca? We like to say to people, you know, welcome home. Welcome to a place where things are very, very different. So let's start with what the differences are. The first difference is no hype. No drama, no nonsense, transparency, authenticity, straight talk. Melaleuca is for people that don't want to beat around the bush, just want to get to the actuality of it. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because everybody thinks, well, you know, who does want to be lied to? I can show you thousands of people that prefer to be lied to because I've spoken to them, and they really do just prefer to have some dramatic, exciting nonsense to follow because I guess it's romantic or emotional. They get some sort of high off of it, and they fall apart all the time. And you actually get people in the network marketing space that go through that. They go through the build of something and they love the rush, and then it falls apart and they go, it's okay. We had a good ride. Let's go to the next one. And you say, yeah, but this ride's only going to go a year or two. And they're like, that's okay. You know, that's just how it goes. And to me, that's like complete and total insanity. Like I have no interest in that whatsoever. So I'll make it very clear for people that are into that, Melaleuca is not for them. And it's not a matter of judgment of what people want to do with their lives. Everybody owns their own life and can do what they want. But Melaleuca is for people that care about real business, about substance, about their reputation, about their credibility, about their time, about real residual that holds together. So I'm actually going to share a screen and show probably one of the most important things to me is this slide right here inside the Melaleuca presentation. You know, it's very often asked of me how Melaleuca is different. And, you know, we're showing here that we've paid out $5 billion to date. And one of the things that we've not yet found at Melaleuca is a direct sales company that has ever disclosed their total amount of commissions paid out. And what I would say is, you know, if you're studying network marketing and you want to know the differences, there's over 1,000 network marketing companies. It fluctuates because so many close so quickly and so many open so quickly. You just can't put your finger on the total number. But over 1,000 on average at any given time, and not one single company have we found that even discloses what they pay out. And the better question of, you know, what do you pay out is why don't you disclose it? That's probably a better question. Why is there not transparency on that number? Why is that not shared with you? The second is the retention rate, the 96% that we have. Now, that's a blended retention rate of all the customers of Melaleuca on a monthly basis every single month. So 96% of total Melaleuca customers come back the next month and shop again. That is another thing that is not disclosed in companies. You know, I remember when I went into the green energy for less business, it ultimately turned into green energy for more, which nobody wanted, which is why all the customers left. But when we went into that business, the whole concept was that it was sticky, it was residual, and customers were never going to leave. You're going to switch on their electric bill, they're going to save some money, they're going to forget about it, pay it the rest of their life, and you're going to be wildly wealthy, just like the people who did it in telecom years before. That was the whole pitch, that was the whole sale. Well, they had to change the pitch in the sale later because they couldn't deliver a product. But the point was, that's what's attractive is that retention rate. So again, I ask you, why is Melaleuca the only company disclosing the retention rate? Why are they the only company actually putting it out there? And those are the kind of things that got me scratching my head. And unfortunately, I'm extremely stubborn, so I had to spend some time learning the hard way what not to do. And it's just like one of those things, like when you're ready in life, the right things appear, and Melaleuca appeared. So I think for real business people to understand real business, the big key is to be able to understand those numbers on the screen. Don't confuse Melaleuca with multi-level marketing. This is probably the most important thing that we communicate with people because it happens quite often. A lot of people believe that they know just enough about Melaleuca to not want to know anything about Melaleuca. The reason I know that is because that was me. I wanted nothing to do with the company. I wanted nothing to do with network marketing. I wanted nothing to do with any of it. But it's really important to understand the differences. So what the company has actually done is created this tool here called Drawing the Line. And that's distinguishing Melaleuca's model from multi-level marketing. I thought it was kind of cute when I first heard about it. Melaleuca, we're not a multi-level marketing company. I was like, but you pay on multiple levels. That makes you a multi-level marketing company. But what I didn't realize is how ignorant I actually was to what multi-level marketing is and how to define it. And there's slight differences, or they appear to be slight, but the devil's in the details. The really small things are actually the really big things. So this Drawing the Line brochure, when you actually scroll down through it, explains who Melaleuca is, and then it goes on to explain the Melaleuca versus MLM and what MLM is and what MLM does. And it's funny because it's so minute here. We have a model called consumer direct marketing, but in the multi-level marketing field, it consists of buying and selling products by distributors. And a lot of companies, distributors say, well, we don't buy and sell products. Our people order directly from the company too. And that's not what this is really getting at. What it's really getting at is in multi-level marketing companies, there's something called retail pay. And what retail pay means is the first form in just about any compensation plan I've seen in a product company is you buy it at the wholesale number because you're a distributor or whatever you want to call you, and then you turn around and sell it to your friends at a higher number and keep the difference. So you can get it, because you paid X amount of money for your starter kit, $500, and you got this pack and you bought this kit. Now you get the discounts and the rebates that other people don't get. So you buy our product at $50 and you can sell it because it's got a retail price of $65 and you make $15, and that's how you earn income, which is total nonsense because nobody ever does that. But the point is, there's a whole concept that you're supposed to buy it and resell it at a different number. Now that's a problem because in order to buy it and resell it, you have inventory where you have to actually buy things and sell it to other people. The other marker and red flag in a multi-level marketing is an investment of money coming in where you're paid to recruit people. So you bring people in, they buy the package, and you're paid off of that, often triggered by very, very small techniques, whether they're called revolutions or activations or whatever they may call that, trigger pay out. Now, it's not just Melaleuca that understands these differences. There's also a little thing called the Federal Trade Commission. I know Davey touched on this earlier, but this is really, really important. This is on the Federal Trade Commission's website, the ftc.gov, and it's basically business guidance concerning multi-level marketing companies. What is direct selling? What is multi-level marketing? Number 2 here under Section 5 of the FTC Act, what is an MLM with unlawful compensation structure, which is sometimes called a pyramid scheme? So people say to me, well, you're always talking about pyramid schemes and calling multi-level marketing companies pyramid schemes. It's not me, guys. It's the Federal Trade Commission that defines what a pyramid scheme is. They're completely and totally illegal. And what they're basically saying is it has to do with the compensation structure, and it has to do with the buying and selling of products. And it's really, really important, those nuances there that are within it. So that's an important piece that we share with people. And, the question is, do you have time to invest into building something that the government could come in and shut down in a day? There's people I know in companies right now where they sell buy-ins. There's people I know in companies that got shut down last month and they're still in denial about it. Just a couple weeks ago, some crypto pyramid scheme got completely and totally closed by the federal government, basically thrown out of the country, and they're still completely and totally delusional about it. They still actually They just ran to the next one that does the same exact thing. I mean, how do you fix that? Like, the question is, what do you want to attach yourself to? You've got one life to live. You've got one reputation. What do you want to be involved with? The Federal Trade Commission is laying it out here, squeaky, squeaky clean, and they're drawing the line for us on what the differences are. Every single multi-level marketing company out there is saying that they are compliant with FTC guidelines. Every single one is saying that, but the question is then, who are they talking about? So they're investigating a lot of companies. There's more to come on that. So for me, I wanted to make sure that I understood the differences between the two, the legal analysis between them, the state laws, and then what the red flags were with multi-level marketing companies. So that's all in here, what the experts say. So you have U.S. senators, the Idaho Department of Commerce, the Wall Street Journal editorials, the Idaho governor, the economics professor, U.S. congressman. You have all sorts of different people and politicians that have gone on the record explaining how Melaleuca's structure is not multi-level marketing. Now, what is the reason for all this? Well, number one, Melaleuca is extremely well connected. But it's from the fact that they've been running a squeaky clean business for a very long period of time. So that's all on here. So don't confuse Melaleuca with multi-level marketing. That's a really important thing. Now, some people say, well, how in the world do I know how to assess a good opportunity? And that wasn't something I learned until I came to Melaleuca. And that's what we call the success factors. So I'm going to blaze through these success factors and lay these out and establish track record. It's an important thing. It's an important thing when somebody's been around a long time because it shows evidence and documentation of being built on solid principles. Now, to be able to be built over the past 33 years in Melaleuca is one thing. To add $500 million in sales in the past 14 months and go to $2 billion is a whole nother thing. So the documentation and the evidence is there. Financially sound, Melaleuca is 100% debt-free. What that means, they have zero debt. So every single piece of equipment they own, the entire building that they just built, which is about an $80 million facility, paid for in cash, zero debt. No debt built into the cost of the products, no inventory. Melaleuca has never been late sending out commission checks, never been late. The last direct sales company I was with before Melaleuca, they were late just about every single time, over and over and over again, and the checks were always wrong, and the comp plan changed just about once a year, and not in a good way, in a bad way. People taking your money away constantly. There's nothing worse than people taking your money. Imagine if you went to your job this week and you got your check, or you got your monthly check, however you get paid, your bi-weekly check, and it was less. And you looked at it and you said, hey, what's going on here? And they said, we just decided to change the compensation and pay you less. That's not okay in your job. Why is that okay in network marketing? It's absolutely insane, but it happens all the time. Strong management. Multi-level marketing companies regurgitate multi-level marketing people into new companies, and they come out with the next big thing. And it's always some guy, well, this guy was in this company and he was in this industry and he did this and this one did that and we brought this one together. And it's always some hodgepodge of knuckleheads looking for the best way to scam people out of their money and earn an income. So Melaleuca doesn't do that. It's straightforward business, strong management. They don't recruit from multi-level marketing companies. They bring in people from the Fortune 500 world, people that know what they're doing. Unique consumable products. Unique. That's an important thing, protected with patents. One of the patents I'm most excited about is our laundry detergent patent. I know it sounds crazy, but 6 times concentrated laundry detergent. If we're the only people that can do that and everything's going to be shipped through the mail, I mean, come on, what are we sitting on? We're sitting on the best patents you could possibly have. Competitively priced. This seems like a small thing. In multi-level marketing, competitively priced means nothing. They say pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the fact that this price is twice as much of what the product is worth. Pay no attention that I'm charging you $200 a month for an education to learn how to invest money when you don't actually make anything. Pay no attention to the fact that you're actually going to pay more for our product than you can get in the marketplace, because you can just go get other people to do it and make money. It can be 1, 2 free. If you can get 3 knuckleheads to pay twice as much, just like you are, then yours will be free, so don't worry about it. I mean, really, what are these value propositions these companies have? They're absolutely insane. High reorder rate. Melaleuca has a high reorder rate, low personal production requirement. No need for budget change. It's one thing to require 100 points, like I used to be required to do in my first company. I had to buy 100 points, which was about $180 a month, about $200 after shipping every single month in a product that I did not need $180 worth per month. 40 to 50 bucks of it would have been plenty. One bottle would have been fine, but you had to buy 4 to stay qualified for a check, because in a multi-level marketing company, the way you sell product is to sell to your distributors. That is their primary method. With Melaleuca, 35 points is much lower than 100, but it's not just lower because it's less, it's also lower because it's stuff you're already buying, and there's 400 different options, which is absolutely insane. So there actually is no new money, no new cost. So in my opinion, there actually is no production requirement. Low entry fee, $19. The enroller is not paid a bonus on the fee. There's companies like ACN out there that charge $500 to join, and they do this little technicality. It's kind of cute. I don't think the FTC finds it too cute, but they say, well, when you come in at 500, your support team, your upline, they only get paid on that. You don't get paid off of recruiting people. They have to activate those funds by enrolling for customers. And it's like, well, wait a second. You can enroll the person's gas bill, their electric bill, even if they're paying more for it and not saving anything. Then you get their mom's gas and electric bill, and now it's activated. And now that $500 can be distributed to the up team. It's a complete and total pyramid. It's absolutely insane, but it goes on all the time. But I don't think it's going to go on for too long. If you look at these companies' sales, they're actually diminishing and going down. So this is something you want to be educated on. And when you're in a room with some excitement going on and this hype and this nonsense, and somehow you reach into your pocket getting ready to grab your credit card and buy absolutely nothing, thin air for $500. You're buying the opportunity to sell $500 opportunities to other people, and you get nothing for it. Hopefully this will wedge into your mind and say, what the heck am I thinking? This is absolutely crazy. So a $19 membership fee with Melaleuca, and we give you a free $100 in products. It's about the dumbest sale I've ever heard of in my entire life. I love you guys, but if you can't sell a free $100 for $19, there's not really much out there easier to sell than that. Low attrition, 96% retention, timing. So get in at the ground level, right? We heard that said, you got to get in early, you got to get in early, you got to get in early. My question to somebody who says that is, if I got to get in early because it's a better opportunity to get in early, then what are we going to tell the people later that didn't get in early? Are we just going to change the story later and say it's better now? I mean, why do we hype things? It's not good to get in early. I was in early in a startup company, and I got absolutely destroyed, completely and totally. So the timing of Melaleuca gets better over and over and over again. Less than 10% of North America has even heard of Melaleuca. We have no bad news, and nobody gets hurt. That's primary and important. No breakaways. In multi-level marketing companies, in some way, shape, or form, you are penalized when your team does well. So if you have somebody in your organization that's doing good, when they adjust up to a higher level, your pay goes down. So your goal is to get them to go up to a certain level, but not past it, because if they go further, your money goes down. So if your people win, you lose, because the money has to come from somewhere, because in a pyramid scheme, the money, as the thing grows out, has to be sucked back in somehow. So there's all different mechanisms that they have. In Melaleuca, we don't have breakaways. We have a flat 7 generations, 7%. It's always been that way, always will. It's completely and totally fair. You don't belong getting paid on your 8th anyway, because you don't build it. So you get paid off of what you build. The goal isn't to get in early and build some massive thing that you don't do any work on and get paid on. It's not a pyramid scheme. I've watched the people that have built massive pyramids and make all the money and take all the money and don't do any of the work. It is a complete and total ground for hatred. I've seen it. It's disgusting, and it creates lots of problems. And that's why those cookies always crumble. So that's why I don't get involved with those cookies. So Melaleuca, there's no risk. Everything's fully refundable. It's a safe place. No one can get hurt. It's something you can bring your grandmom into, something you can have your parents take. It's a customer base, guys. And here's what I'm going to wrap up and finish with. I know Davey showed it in the beginning, but you have 79% of Melaleuca customers are customers only, meaning they've never referred anybody. They don't receive checks. You've got 10% product advocates. These are people that have referred less than 8, have never become a director, and they do pretty well if you think about it. I was looking at this chart, and if you look at this chart down here for product advocates, somebody that enrolls 5 customers on average makes $555 per year. That's insane. That's absolutely insane, the amount of money that our product advocates make. And then there's being in business. 11% of people actually build a business past 8 customers. The average director has 16 customers and makes $2,093. Right now it's $1 to enroll a customer. If you theoretically went out and enrolled 16 customers right now, not only would you get $2,000, but you get a $500 blender and about $400 in other stuff, which is insane with the promotions that they pay. But think about that, a $2,000 residual on 16 customers, $2,000 on 16 customers. It's absolutely insane. And then we look at these other statuses here for Director 3s. Director 3s on average making $9,000. That's absolutely insane. And then as you climb the director ranks, and people say, well, there's only 2% of people ever make the senior director status. Yeah, only 2% of people make over $60,000 a year with Melaleuca at the senior director status that aren't the higher statuses, because that's the only amount of people that put their axe to the grind, stick with it, and build it. The point is, this is not, I got in early and there's only enough room for so many senior directors. You can build out the senior director whenever you want. And everybody you've heard from tonight has done that and is doing beyond that. We are currently executive director status. Executive directors average $163,000. We earned $137,000 last year, part-time, very part-time on top of our other incomes. It is a great lifestyle. It is fantastic, but more importantly, it is squeaky clean. It is not multi-level marketing. And you now have the success factors for exactly how to diagnose and how to look at a business. Ask to see the books. Ask to see the numbers. When you ask the right questions, every pyramid scheme falls apart very quickly, because they always ask you not to ask those questions. Let's not talk about that. Don't pay attention to that. Let's just go on the excitement and hope it holds together. So the question is your plan for the future about hoping something holds together that you invest your time into based on the excitement of somebody that can get you fired up? Or do you want to build it on solid principles, on a solid customer base, on solid ground, on something that's going to be around for your children? My customer base is in the 1,800 customer range at this point. That's very small compared to what my goals are, but I've been building it part-time. And if you really think about that sort of income and the kind of money that comes in regularly and consistently off of that, there's really just no better income. But more importantly, anybody can do it. Anybody can do that. I can sit here plainly and tell you that with a clear heart and a clear face. It is not some special thing that you have to know how to do. You can learn our skills. Every single skill we have is learnable, and we are willing to teach that to you. So for somebody who decides to go learn these skills and do what we do, the sky's the limit. Nothing can stop you. And that's how Melaleuca was built. Melaleuca is champion of the little guy. Frank Vandersloot, our CEO, has built this thing on solid principles. The mission statement is to enhance the lives of those we touch by helping people reach their goals. But furthermore, Frank wanted to create an opportunity for the average American to get ahead. He wanted the opportunity to be based off of hard work, off of people learning skills and working hard. And that is what he has created at Melaleuca. There is no luck involved. There's no special spot. There's no, advantage because I got in at this time. It just, if anything, it's better the later it gets, because there's more money in the compensation because the customer base has grown. And for you guys, to be with the Crescenzo organization, to be with Tom, to be with Vinny, these guys are just absolute pros. The support is absolutely insane. It's going on every day. It's going on every night. All you got to do is plug in, look in the mirror, learn some new skills, do what you got to do, stick with it, put the axe to the grind, and you'll get better and better and better. Nobody you heard from tonight was great in their first year. None of them. None of us are in our first year. We're way past our first year. We stuck with it. We learned skills and we kept going. And that's why the income is coming the way it's coming for everybody that you've heard from. So that can be you. That can be you at any point you want. Ask good questions, learn new skills, and we'll see you at the top. So, Mr. Vin, I'm going to flip it back out to you, brother.
Outstanding as always, Charlie Costello. I really appreciate it. The reason again for this webcast and the content that we brought is Charlie brings it like no other, comparing what we're doing. It's really about building belief. If you're someone that is really evaluating a business, you absolutely and unequivocally deserve to see this content. This isn't something we have, like Charlie said it, right? We have webinars, we have conference calls, we have, half-hour overviews 2-3 times a day that just goes over the overview. But people really deserve to get a real look at, look what Charlie pointed out, the success factors, the drawing the line. Charlie, again, I want to say thank you for all you brought, brother.
You got it, man. I appreciate you, brother. You the man.
You man. So you heard it from all. You heard from Dave Crescenzo. You heard from Christian Crescenzo, Tom Braddock, Charlie Costello. We have a packed line here. We have over 50 some odd people here. We have Facebook Live is packed out. Like I said, you deserve to really know what you're going to be doing for your family, your business. This is time. Like we started it, we opened it. Time is that valuable asset that we get. We spend it, we don't get it back. We have to use it wisely in the world we live in now, right now, with e-commerce space, the home business space, the fact that we have these mobile devices that we can run and operate a global business from, where do you want to plant your flag? You can't hit 2 baseballs at once. You can't ride 2 horses at once. When it comes to this type of space in team building, building a residual income and building something of lasting value for you and your family, and something of legacy, something that's willable, something that's 1099, something that you can put your hands on, like these products, and you're going to feel like $1 million. So I appreciate everyone coming on here. Let me just see if we have some other messages here. If there's any questions, look, you've been on. Get with the person who invited you on. Get with your support team. Get with this team. We're having a lot of fun. It's the beginning of the year, and no matter when you're looking at this, it's the beginning. I mean, you don't have to wait 10 years to change. Change comes in an instant. It's just a matter of having that paradigm. It's a matter of having a decision. They say big decisions happen at big events. This was a big event we had tonight. We have plenty more on the way. So thanks, everyone, for joining. I'll see you guys and gals at the top. Thank you.